always been way too blunt. My friends have told me that my greatest strength and weakness is that I'm just blunt. And sometimes it's good,
Okay.
and sometimes it hurts their feelings.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Where were you born and raised? I guess that's the first place I'm going to start.
I was actually born in Los Angeles, so I've been here my whole life. I'm currently in Glendale. I still live with my parents.
Really? So
Mhm.
Southern California. I'm from San Diego. That's awesome. Not a lot of us are actually born and raised in Southern California.
True, and I went to school in San Diego, so
Did you really? Where'd you go?
I went to UCSD.
Did you really? That's
Mm,
amazing. That is so cool. Well, I want to talk about that. That's amazing. So you're in Glendale. That's where you currently are, and that's where you were raised, born and
yeah,
raised.
yeah.
Well, so tell me about growing up there. That's kind of in the valley, right?
I should know my LA. I don't. I think yes.
It's east. It's east, isn't
Yeah,
it?
something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Why not?
but yeah, I grew up with my parents. I'm an only child, and they're my best friends. So I mean, I probably could move out if I really wanted to, but I get along.
Why?
I'm still here. Yeah. But it's also nice. Glendale is sort of a nice break from like the city and Hollywood and like the normal things people kind of don't love about LA. It's kind of like a nice suburban break.
Okay. Okay. And were you, you said that you're an only child, but how did you get into music? I did read that you're classically trained on the piano and multiple instruments, but how'd you get into it?
Yeah, so I was passing a piano store with my parents and I like saw a piano in the window and I think kind of I don't know, I was like, can I play one? And they're like, I mean, yeah, if you practice, and I promised that I would practice, but as most kids, struggle with that, I wasn't the best at practicing. But instead I would like take classical music and start experimenting with the notes and seeing where I could go with it. And that's how I started writing. And then I wrote my first song when I was 7 called America Home, which is very
Wow.
patriotic.
That is
And
patriotic and impressive at 7.
I mean, it's not, I don't know if you heard it, I don't know if it's impressive. Um, but I was fortunate to have a piano teacher who like fostered my writing growth and like would help me, learn how to like transition between chords and think of lyrics and all that. And then just kind of kept going.
Wow. So when you started piano lessons, you said what, 7? Or is that no, that's when you wrote the first song. When did you pick up piano?
I started at 6.
Oh, 6. Okay. Wow, that was quick. 6 to 7. And were you in piano lessons for a while?
Yeah. I kind of stopped, I guess, in high school when things started getting busier, but I would go pretty religiously once a week to my piano teacher's house, Jameson Trotter.
Mhm. Would you do like recitals and all of that?
Not really. He was a bit unconventional, which I enjoyed because the way he would teach was like a moment of scales, a little bit of classical, some jazz, and then I mean composing. I don't know if that was his lesson structure for everyone, but he realized that like I didn't want to just play Bach.
Right, right, right.
I wanted to like play the songs I was listening to.
So he would teach you like pop songs?
Mhm.
Or oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like not a lot of piano teachers do that, and I don't quite understand that. It's like, don't you want the kid to be interested in music? I feel like you hear a lot of stories where it's like, and then I had this piano teacher that would like make me play all this stuff I didn't want to play, and then I gave up on it. But that's cool to have a teacher that really, helped kind of boost what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I don't think I would be here at all without him.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I mean, he
Wow.
also showed me Regina Spektor, who was my biggest writing inspiration.
Oh, okay. I love Regina Spektor. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. So 6, 7 years old, you write a song. What was it called?
America Home.
America Home, and lyrics, everything.
I mean, lyrics, yes, lyrics not the best.
But I mean, what 7-year olds writing these brilliant lyrics? There's not a lot of
It's
life
true.
to pull from.
It's true. The songs that came after were called Alien Sabotage and Strawberry Lumps. So, young Emily had her priorities.
Did those make an EP of some sort?
No,
Just
an
kidding.
EP in my mind. I think it's only been
Do you have recordings of those songs?
somewhere.
That's
Somewhere.
cool.
I remember them.
You do.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. Have you ever when was the last time you played one of those songs? When you were 8?
Probably.
Okay. You haven't
Yeah, I
taken them
don't
out anytime recently.
maybe I should tease it on TikTok and see what the people think.
I was gonna say I saw this video of you on, I think it was on YouTube, and you wrote a whole song using just comments from Instagram.
Mhm.
That's so creative.
Thank you. I did that during quarantine because there really was not much else to do.
So
So
you just struck. How did you decide on what comments to do? Just any of them that you decided to pick at, like, or something that kind of structured a song?
I just put them all in a document and, like, thought of a melody with chords, and I was like, "What fits?" Basically, and then kind of
Okay.
played with them like puzzle pieces.
That's cool. I want to back up real quick though. So piano lessons, you write your first song at 7, and then and then those that followed, was that something that you continued to do? You said like in high school you stopped doing piano because things got busy. Were you jumped into something different? Were you just playing a lot more and you didn't need the lessons anymore?
I mean, I was always writing, like, that never stopped, but as far as, like, being good at practicing it and doing the classical things that I was kind of going to the lessons for to, like, strengthen my technique, it just got
Hmm.
kind of busy with, like, I was taking a lot of AP classes, I was also doing competitive fencing,
Yeah, I read
vocal
that.
I was in show choir, which
Oh, okay.
was not for me. I respect it, but I can't dance. Learned that very quickly. Um, but, I mean, also I did teach music a little bit during that time, I think so.
Okay, like younger kids, and
Yeah.
how'd you get involved in that?
Um, it was so I went to the school called Oakwood where, I was, like, further fostered in arts education, and I was lucky because I had teachers who, like, also wanted to help me with my writing,
Hmm.
like, stay after classes and stuff to do that, and they did summer camps that I actually, like, grew up going to every year, and then I was a teacher. So that was a really cool, like, full circle moment.
Wow. Wow. So you did summer camps that were arts based,
Mhm.
like in the arts? That's cool. What you said, it was an arts high school? Was it an arts high school?
Yeah.
Wow. Was that something you had to like audition for, or just if you had passion for it, you could go apply there?
It wasn't necessarily, like, categorized as an art school, but,
Oh,
like,
okay.
a lot of attention towards the arts and support and, I mean, not every school has, like, strong arts and choir and
Right, right.
opportunities, so I was really fortunate.
That's amazing. And you're a fencer. You're like a all-American fencer. Is that what I read?
Yep.
Okay. When do you start doing that?
I started when I was 8.
Okay.
I guess it all started around that time. Everything started
So
around.
piano and fencing. And how do you get into fencing? Is that something that comes from the family as
Yeah,
well?
my dad had been doing it since college, and
Okay.
I won't expose his age, but many years of
But
fencing.
still.
And he started giving me lessons in the driveway, and I was hooked by it, and then he took me to a recreational class, and it was funny because we had to, like, all fence the teacher at once, and everyone was too scared to stab the teacher, but I was just like, "Go, go, go." I was very aggressive. Um, and I just kinda kept at it after that.
Wow. I didn't ask though. Are your family or parents musical at all?
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so
Just
much.
fencing.
Yeah.
But then you were just interested and then it became something that you continued to do as far as music went.
Yeah, and it was kind of a nice balance and continues to be, um,
Mhm.
to have, like, the athletic side and then the artistic side because I feel like it's really easy to get caught up in one world and forget how how much else there is, you know?
Sure, sure. Well, like to be that good at fencing, I mean, all American, you must have spent a lot of time practicing and that must have took up a big portion of your day or not so much.
Yeah, I mean, in college I basically went to college because I wanted to do NCAA fencing more than I really wanted to do the major,
Wow, okay.
and, it was 15 hours a week, so basically a part-time job a little bit, and
Mhm.
music did kind of, go to the side for a second. I was in a band in college, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. So it's kind of gone back and forth a little what I focus on more.
Okay.
But I think now the decision is kind of made for me. I think it's
Sure, sure.
yeah.
In high school, were you in a band at all, or did you perform out at all?
I was always in little bands. Often we didn't really perform like here and there, but I didn't really grow up doing a ton of performances. I actually had pretty bad stage fright, which I got over funny enough by doing a lot of TikTok lives because
Really?
like keep doing like I did that over quarantine and
Mhm.
as you see like 100 people are in the room, 200 people and you just kind of get used to it after a while.
Right. That's interesting. interviewed lots of artists, and most of them will say that the most terrifying thing is like doing the live Instagram social media stuff. Like they're like, oh, I could play to a crowd of 2,000 people, but like going live on the Instagram or live on TikTok is just such a difficult thing to do. That's cool that that was kind of the thing that got you over the stage fright.
Well, it's so funny because obviously no one's clapping. So after you do
Right.
a song, I just kind of learned like it's more normal to me to be like, okay, that was that. Next song. Then to
Okay.
pause for
I'm gonna
applause.
wait for do you wait for applause?
I mean, I don't know how to. I guess I'll just do it.
Right. Wow. Okay. But you said you were in some bands in high school, or it just was for just fun?
Just fun. The band I was in college was called Omelo, which is Emily, but all the vowels are O's. And
Oh.
our biggest feat was performing in Battle of the Bands, and we made it to the finals to perform at the big Sun God Festival, but we lost.
Oh, wait, and was that just at the school?
Hmm.
Okay. Because you said you went to UCSD?
Yeah.
Okay. Because obviously I was from San Diego, so I want to hear going from so high school. You're in fencing. You were obviously really good. So you go to UCSD has a good fencing team. I take it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know any of this. So is that why you went to UCSD to fence for the college?
Yeah. Um, it was kind of a choice of like going far away or staying local. Also, UCs are obviously cheaper for California students, and
Right.
we love that. And then they also took my AP credit, so I was able to graduate a year early. So it all just kind of lined up at UC.
Wow. And it's like, I mean, UC schools in California are like the thing, right? Like
Right.
they're the harder ones to get into, obviously. And like UC San Diego, I mean, yeah, UCSD, because there's USD also in San Diego, but UCSD, yeah, my brother-in-law went there too. So
Oh, did you like
um,
it? You know?
he liked it, yeah. And then he
Good.
ended up getting a master's from somewhere else, but he went there for English and creative writing or something like that. I have no idea. But okay, so they have a good fencing team. So you're going there to fence, and then what is your major while you're in college?
So I was a communication major and business minor, always with the intention of wanting to apply it towards music.
Okay.
I couldn't really tell you what communication is.
That's what I have a degree in. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay, you understand. Good.
Yeah, I'm like, so okay, counselor, I'm terrible at math and science. What can I do? They're like communications. There you
Pretty
go.
much exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna go with that. And I'm still trying to figure out what it means. But okay, so you went for communications, did fencing, and then are you still you said you were in a band in San Diego?
Mhm.
Where would you play? Would you play out around like I mean, the venues there, House of Blues, anything like that?
It's funny, we didn't actually do anything too major, but we were invited to perform for something called the Avocado Fest, and we were all
Mhm.
psyched because we're like, "A festival to avocados, like, that's
That's
massive."
huge in San Diego.
You would think, but then it was just on campus, and it was like this one little table of guacamole, and I asked all my friends to come, and it was only my friends who watched us do our, like, pitiful set. We got free shirts with avocados on them, so that was a win.
Did you play piano and sing, or just sang, or what was your role in the band?
I just sang, yeah.
Okay.
Our guitarist and pianist was a lot better than me, so he took on
Oh, really? You're an amazing piano player.
all of the
Do you
things.
play piano on that EP that you released, Infrared?
Yes. I think it was a mixture of my teacher and I.
The compositions on that record are so good. Like the piano part. I mean, the whole album's awesome. I listened to the whole thing earlier today, and I'm like, wow. But the piano pieces like really stuck out to me. It's such a good record.
Thank you. It feels like old me. I don't know if I relate to that music I've released as much as the current stuff, but
Oh, it's definitely different. Wow. Okay. So you're in the band in college, fencing, and then where does fencing kind of leave your life, or was that when the pandemic happens and then this TikTok thing kind of happens?
yeah, so I wasn't really fencing during the pandemic.
Or pre-pandemic were you fencing?
Yeah,
29. If we look at 2019, okay.
yeah. I competed in like NCAA regionals and all that kind of
Wow.
stuff. But yeah, pandemic hits. I really didn't leave the house like most people. So I just started
Right.
doing TikToks, and it just kind of went crazy from there. I fenced a little bit in the backyard with my dad just to like stay active, but
Hmm.
I actually fenced other people for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and I did lose to a kid who started in September. which was quite embarrassing.
Oh, so you're back at it.
Yeah,
Okay, well that's good. Kind of back at it. Well, okay. So where were you in 20? I think 2017 was when Infrared came out. Where were you back in LA at that time, or were you still living in San Diego?
I think 2017 I had just graduated from high school.
Okay.
I had my 1 month job at Ralph's, which I talk about like it was a lifetime because there was so much. I don't want to say trauma because that's a heavy word, but it was a lot.
It was a brutal job.
Not my favorite time. And then college in
Okay. Well,
in August.
what happened at Ralph's? Now I'm curious.
Well, it was my first job, like an 8-hour situation. My coworkers all called me Barbie because I was a little too delicate to be dealing with like meat slicers and heavy dishes.
Right? I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And carts? Are you kidding me? I would not want to push it, like go in the parking lot and grab all the carts. I've
So
seen the people doing.
I was above the carts. I was.
You're above. Okay, I'm good. You jumped the carts.
I jumped the carts.
Okay, that's good.
But frankly, I might have preferred that.
Okay. So you're in the deli? Is that what you said? That's where you were at? Deli department? Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't want to cut the meat up. That would kind of, just not.
No.
Okay. So you just short period at Ralph's.
I did say I was so bad at that job that I said it was my first day for like 2 weeks. For anyone who's like, how much I was struggling, I'm so sorry, it's my first day. And then when I had repeat customers, they're like, wasn't it your first day last week?
Are they asking you for like some obscure meat? And you're like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, a few of those. But there was one particular occurrence when this guy was asking me to make him a sandwich. I didn't realize there were sandwiches in the deli. I mean, maybe that's obvious, but like I never got a sandwich from Ralph's Deli. And he was like, I want tomatoes. And I was like frantically looking around for tomatoes. And he's like, I think they're down there in the cabinet under you. And I was like, for sure.
Like, I'm not a sandwich artist. This is not Subway. Let me just cut up your ham and be on your way, sir. So you're working at Ralph's. So, well, I'm curious about the EP. Were you working at Ralph's when the EP came out?
The EP dropped before that.
Before Ralph's. Okay. So tell me the process of putting the EP together. It sounds like your teacher helped you on the record a bit.
Yeah. So I had written the title track Infrared about my first breakup.
Mm-hmm. It's a great song. I really, that one and the last one are my two favorites from the record.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones I had just kind of written throughout the years, and we just collected them all at once to put on an EP. There was no like through line to the story per se, but just I wanted to put out. But Just Fine, I still like that one. The other ones, I'm not sure how much I love the writing on them anymore, but I like Just Fine.
Okay. And you had one song though that made it onto a motion picture. Like, I mean, a film with like, J.K. Simmons and Mandy Moore and a bunch of people are in the movie.
Yeah. I had played a show at the Republic of Pie in 2016, and we had a family friend in the audience who I think like always knew I wrote, but didn't really like, I don't know. I think she realized.
She know you're like really good.
I don't know how to say it. Not really good, but I think like something maybe clicked for her. That seems so conceited. I don't want to say that, but anyway, like.
But okay, but it's not because, I mean, the song made a film. Somebody chose that song to make a film. You look at your Spotify, you have like over 8 million people listen to your records monthly. I mean, it's okay to be a little truthful. Well, you know what I mean?
I don't know, but the 8 million thing. I feel like it's someone else. I feel like it can't be me.
It's crazy. That's so awesome, though. That's such a huge thing.
Thank you. I don't know how one is supposed to process that kind of number, because everything so far has just been like metrics. It hasn't been real interactions,
Mm-hmm. Well, I could see how it's difficult when it comes to that, because it is. I mean, no one's really doing. I mean, recently shows have come back, but not within the past year and a half. It's kind of an odd time for that. And then you look at a song like, I mean, we'll talk about your new one, Numb Little Bug, your newest one, and I'm looking at it now, and almost has 64 million times people have listened to it. That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, so somebody comes into the crowd. We'll get to that. So somebody's in the crowd that's a family friend, sees you play, and is like, okay, wow, you're a really good songwriter. I want to use a song, or can you write a song for the film? Like, how does that conversation began?
Yeah, so she came up after my show and was just like, "Hey, I have this film. I was wondering if you'd consider writing a song for it." And I tried to keep my composure, but I wanted to be bouncing off the walls because I was so excited.
Mhm.
She was like, "We have a really small budget," and I was like, "Don't you even worry. Like to get paid $1 to do what I love is fine with me."
Right.
And then she sent me the script, and I just kind of wrote the song based off what I read in the script. I actually wrote it in 10 minutes. That's probably the shortest time it's ever taken me to write anything.
Really? And so you read the whole entire script, you're like, "Okay, I got an idea," and just put it down right away?
Mhm.
Wow. That's incredible, and not having have you ever read a script like that before? Or was that the first time?
I had read scripts, more like play stuff than
Okay. Then
yeah,
like a film?
mhm. But I remember
Wow.
there's one particular part of the script where she talked about, like, water droplets in the sink,
Mhm.
and for some reason that, like, inspired the piano part for me.
Oh, okay.
You never know what it's gonna take to inspire.
Sure. And do you submit the song and right away they're like, "This is perfect"? Or
Yeah,
were there some back and forth?
I sent it and she just, like, put it over the montage and it literally, like, fit the editing. It was insane. She invited my mom and I over to watch it and she was like, "This is just, like, how did we have this telepathic communication?" Um,
Yeah. Wow.
since then, I'll tell you, writing for other projects hasn't been as easy as that was.
Sure, but still, I mean, that's a huge moment. What a huge thing to kind of validate your songwriting and you as an artist.
Yeah, it was insane.
So that happens and you're still like, "I'm gonna go fence and at UCSD." It was just kind of a thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was it felt really good that that happened, but I didn't really know, like, how to continue the path to being an artist. At least before TikTok, I was writing and posting things on YouTube and Instagram and performing here and there, but I didn't really know, what to do.
Mhm. And that just all kinda came together through TikTok then, because you have
Yeah,
some other songs you put I mean, Blink of an Eye came out and Forgive Yourself, which I think is another incredible song.
thank you.
Um, and was it when City Angels came out, that's kinda when stuff changed for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the first time something of mine went viral. I think it got, like, 300,000 views or
That's
something,
crazy.
and it was the first time I, like, couldn't keep up with comments because I do try to like and respond to everything.
Mhm.
And it's when I actually posted that I hadn't written the rest of the song yet, so after it was going viral, I was like, "Maybe I should
I should
finish
probably finish
the
this.
chorus of the song." Yeah.
So at that point, tell me about TikTok and how that all kind of came in. So was that an app that, because I have a son he just turned 14. And
Mhm.
he was on it when it was musically and he would just kind of he doesn't like perform on it or anything. He just is like one of the billions of people that have it. Was TikTok something that you started to really invest time into when the pandemic happened? And then tell me about how City of Angels kind of happened.
So, I all my friends had TikTok during, like, early quarantine days, and I really didn't care to to do it, but I think I just wanted to see, like, what all the fuss was about, so I downloaded
Mhm.
it, I posted, a Dua Lipa cover, and I forget exactly how many views it got, but it got like maybe 300 views, and I had 10 followers, and that didn't make any sense to me because, on YouTube or Instagram, I feel like your subscribers and followers are very correlated to the amount of views that
Oh,
you get.
well, they're the people that are seeing your stuff, right? I mean, that's what's such a crazy thing about TikTok. It's just like this massive, like focus group pool of people.
Right, right.
Because, sorry, go ahead.
I like I kind of saw a little bit in that moment, what TikTok is capable of, and
Uh-huh.
I just started posting all the snippets of things that I write, and instead of putting them, like, in my voice memos, which is normally where they go for no one to hear, I just started posting them for everyone.
Oh, okay. So just right away, you just put little teasers up and see what people thought.
Yeah, and I mean, frankly, most of the things I posted aren't finished songs. It's interesting because it tells you what you should finish and what you really don't need to based on a response.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the focus group. So it's like, oh, a lot of people are latching onto this. They like this. Maybe I should try to finish the song up.
Yeah.
That's incredible that that happened with City of Angels, where it was just, okay, I have this piece, and then it starts being used by all these different people and it's going viral. And then, okay, I should finish the song
Yeah.
now.
And what's funny is I thought, like, that was a viral moment, And then Groundhog Day like blew it out of the water, and I thought it couldn't get any crazier than Groundhog Day. And then Numb Little Bug did probably 100-fold of what Groundhog Day. So I shows how much I know.
Wow. 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 So when City of Angels starts taking off, like, was it something that, you put your phone down and then you come back to it a little later, like, whoa, what is happening? And you're watching it just kind of grow and grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
What
Um,
was that like?
I mean, it was exhilarating. Sometimes you kind of see it grow along the way, and then other times I would just wake up and I'd see a video has like a few 100,000 views. I kind of prefer that one because I think your mental health can get very tied to all the numbers, and it's if you can't avoid watching it, I think it's a good thing.
Right. 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 And so that one does well. And then you're like, okay, I just need to finish the song. So you finish the song. And then are you like, how do you chase what you had just done? Like, obviously, I mean, Groundhogs, they did more than that. And then, Numb Little Bug did even more. But so when City of Angels is done, you're like, okay, I should work on this, write on it. Like, what is your next step kind of moving forward to keep the ball rolling with that?
So what's funny is I posted that original snippet that went viral, but I don't think I posted much more about it because I was like, oh, I don't want to annoy anyone with like posting this over and over again. And then the only other time, well, there was one video I made where I duetted a friend of mine who made a TikTok about the story of City of Angels going viral, which helped it stream. And then I did one more TikTok when it was out, but that's all I did because I didn't want to bother people. And then
Mhm.
I realized Lil Nas X posted Montero probably 300 times. So I was like, okay, I can bother people. That's fine.
Yeah.
So then it was kind of a drought. Nothing was doing very well. Um, Groundhog Day actually popped off after the third video I made to it. The first two didn't hit, but the third one I had my parents in the back, and I think that's what sold it. That one I made like 20 something videos, and then for reference, I think Numb Little Bug is like probably 60 something videos at this point.
Okay, you just do different ones. Like, so for Groundhog Day, you did like different videos, different versions of the song, or like, what do you like? Just different pieces using the same sound to kind of see what people would react to.
Yeah. Like I would do the chorus or I would do the verse. And then when the track came out, I would do like different versions of the track. I also like told the story of it. I think there's a lot of creative ways you can use the same audio but have different content.
Right, different videos.
Mhm.
And then Numb Little Bug comes out. You put the song out originally though in August. Is that what I read?
Yes, I put it out in August. And I was excited and equally stressed when it was going viral because the recorded version wasn't ready yet, and it ended up going through 13 variations to get it
Oh
where
wow.
I wanted it. And then I was nervous as to how to bring the momentum back, but luckily it happened. And I had a friend whose handle is Live to Create who helped me strategize some video ideas. So credit to him as well for
That-
it going viral.
yeah, that's really cool. So with like, are people like managers or record people or industry folk reaching out to you on that first TikTok success, or does it take a couple big ones for them to come knocking at your door? Like, how does that work?
So the label talk started after Groundhog Day.
Okay.
And then I signed before Numb Little Bug to Moon Project / Republic Records.
Hmm.
But Mary Rahmani, who I signed to, said that she had been following me since City of Angels. So I guess
Wow.
that you never know who's watching and when they're watching.
That's incredible. Yeah. So they probably saw what was happening and were like, is Em gonna be able to pull this off again? And then you do, and it's like, okay, let's get in here. And then obviously it works again to
Mhm.
for the final one. Not works, but you have the song to follow it. But so what was that? I mean, was that pretty cool to have these label people coming out and chatting with you, trying to court you to get you on their label?
It was exciting but equally overwhelming. Also during that time, I had started on antidepressants, and through that, like I didn't realize that highs could be muted as well as lows. So I was kind of just going through this period of like my dreams coming true, but not really feeling.
Hmm.
And
I can
in
relate to
retrospect,
that.
I'm happy it happened because I wrote Numb Little Bug. I'm not happy that you relate to that. I hope that's clear. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
I
no.
relate
You're
to
like,
that.
yes, I'm happy that you have
I'm happy
issues
that
too.
you.
No, no, no. No, I saw it. I understood what you're saying. Um, okay. So that was happening. And then, oh, sorry, walk me through that one more time.
So yeah, I was meeting with like, I don't know, RCA, Arista, Capital,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of funny because they wine and dine you, but then they kind of disappear a little bit
Mm-hmm.
once it's like dying down. But Mary from Republic like just kept emailing me, and even from our first meeting, I just kind of knew she was the choice.
Okay. But but you said you had just started on antidepressants when the label talk was happening.
Hmm.
And did you have Numb Little Bug written at that time or no?
Um, I
Because
think
obviously that talks a lot, quite about what you just spoke of. So
Numb Little Bug was soon after the label talks, and I think
okay.
I remember having a conversation with my mom where I was like, Mom, I don't know if music is making me happy. It's all happening, but I just feel like kind of sad and overwhelmed, and I don't know why. And she was saying, like, that's ungrateful.
Oh,
Kind of explained to her, it's not really ungrateful. It's just a feeling I hadn't experienced before. So I think in writing Numb Little Bug, I was also trying to explain it to her.
oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say the song is really talks to that, and people. I said I also take antidepressants and medication for that, and even listening to a song like "Forgive Yourself." That one spoke to me too in the same way because I was like, oh wow, like that's interesting because that's one thing that I personally have a problem with. Like, yeah, I'll forgive everyone else, but if I do something stupid, it's like, I gotta be hard on myself, right? And like that's kind of what that song said to me. And then hearing, "Numb Little Bug" come out, and I'm like, oh wow, this is also like a very relatable song.
They come from different paths. When I wrote Forgive Yourself with Ian Walsh, I came into the session and he was like, it always starts with what's going on. And unfortunately, my friend had just committed suicide.
Oh my
And
gosh, I'm so sorry.
thank you. But I was just like, I wish these are the things I wish I could say to him.
Hmm.
So that's how we wrote that, just kind of putting it like a message in
Okay.
the song. And it's kind of crazy the response to that one specifically that I got from people saying that it feels like they're being supported or hugged by the lyrics.
Right. No, it totally does. And yeah, that's what I felt when I heard it. I was like, wow, like this is really something people need to hear because for me, that's a really hard thing to do. It's like, it's easy to forgive everyone else, but then when it comes to yourself, I don't know. I'm hard on myself. So that's just me, but my story, my analysis of the song, but like it makes a whole lot of sense, like listening to it. And then when I heard Numb Little Bug, I was like, wow, this is also speaking to me in the sense that, you talk about, picking up this prescription, you can't even read the name, you don't know how much, what the dosage is supposed to be, and like all this stuff. And I mean, to write a song like that, like that's pretty. I mean, it's a bold move, not a bold move, but it's an honest move. And was that like a difficult thing to share with people? I mean, to be that kind of transparent.
No, I've always been way too blunt. My friends have told me that my greatest strength and weakness is that I'm just blunt. And sometimes it's good,
Okay.
and sometimes it hurts their feelings. Um, so I've never felt like, "Oh, no, I'm exposing myself because I don't really know what else my purpose in this world is than to just make than just shed light on
Just
what
say
I'm doing, and if
it.
people feel the same, then yeah.
Aside from the benchmark of getting a song on a playlist, like, did you have another big milestone? Like, what was a big milestone for you with your music career?
Oh, one that seemed incredibly unachievable was to be in a Genius video, and that just happened.
Wow.
That was crazy. The next one is to be on SNL, which is definitely gonna take a lot more time, I think. But I've never had a ton of musical like, it's never been about Grammys for me per se,
Mhm.
you know? Because I also just never thought being an artist was feasible, so I didn't wanna set my mind on that too much.
Is this kind of a and now you kinda have to I mean, this became your career, right? It wasn't something you really sought out for. Is that hard to process too?
I mean, it was something I wanted, but I was trying to be realistic with myself that it's likely it would just stay kind of in a I'm doing it for fun range, and that was fine because it's my favorite thing. But
Mhm.
the fact that it's working, I mean, I'm so grateful. I don't know what else I could be doing. Definitely not Ralph's Deli.
They probably won't hire you after all these interviews.
Probably not.
Numb Little Bug's been out for a bit. It's obviously doing incredible. Do you have other songs ready to come out? Do you have a project?
Yeah,
complete, or
hopefully the next single is in May, and then, another single following that, and then an EP. That's the current plan. I'm not sure of the exact timelines yet, but
sure. But wow, that's and everything's done. Were these songs written when recently or over COVID time or?
a lot of them were written over the past year. After Groundhog Day, I was fortunate to get a lot of opportunities to be in sessions and meet more writers and producers, so, a good chunk of them were with people that I met last year. But I
Mhm.
have to say, like, teasing the next single has been terrifying because I don't know how to exit Numb Little Bug era.
Okay. So yeah, I was going to ask that question. Well, but you've kind of done it, right? So you had City of Angels, which went viral, and then it's like, okay, I got to follow this up, and then you followed up with Groundhog Day, and then it's like the next level, and then you're like, okay, did you have a thought even when that came out? Like, is the next song going to hit like that? And then Numb Little Bug surges. Did you even have that thought on when Groundhog Day came out?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I always think I'll never follow it up. But between the songs, like there's a good chunk of songs that don't really do much, you know?
Mhm.
Um, so it's a bit stressful because this is the first time that like there's a plan with the releases and it's not just like go with the flow for me. So they have to they have to do something.
They have to hit. Well, Groundhog Day was the one that you released right before Numb Little Bug, wasn't it? Or was there a song in between there?
Um, there were like songs that I teased that didn't do a lot.
Oh, I see. Okay. So the next, but as far as a full release, it was Groundhog Day that hits, Numb Little Bug that hits. So now is the next one gonna land?
Yeah, I'm praying. I hope.
Yeah, but is that even a thought? I mean, it sounds like the songs are already written and done, so it's not like you're trying to chase something.
It's true, but I mean, the, like, TikTok pre-saves make the biggest difference, and I mean, Numb Little Bug got 1,000,000 streams the first day with 87,000 pre-saves,
That's
so,
crazy.
I mean, hopefully the next one's called Too Precious, hopefully that one can do something.
Yeah. Well, have you been teasing it all?
I've done one teaser.
Okay. Did you mention any of that, or you just put it up and see what people said?
I put it up just to, like, test the waters. It's funny because I have a friend that I tend to, like, do song campaigns with, and he's like, "You didn't tell me you were gonna post that. You maybe should have given me a warning." And I was like, I got trigger happy. I wanted to see."
That's cool though. It's really cool that you have that there's this thing that exists now, right? That you can kind of do that. Are people going to care? Let's see. And then, like you said, you did different versions of the video for Numb Little Bug. You said 60 different videos for it,
Probably, yeah.
and then it just took one that really landed to get the success behind it, or the pre-saves and all of that.
It took a few. I don't know, because none of them actually popped off as much as the initial acoustic version of Numb Little Bug that I posted in August, but
Hmm.
I think just kind of a collective effort of all of them.
Okay. Because you did a video where you're like brushing your teeth and then you're laying down and you're eating. Like that was later. Was that later than the acoustic version?
Yeah, yeah. That was
O-
after it was released, I think.
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to do a version of what everyone else was posting, and it was hard. I don't know how they did it. Their videos are so smooth. I admire them.
Yours was good though. And then you
Yeah,
had this huge TikToker, right, that did a video to it, like things women are tired of hearing.
it's crazy from, TikTokers that, like, when I first got on the app, I was big I mean, still am big fans of, but, like, they are definitely celebrities to me. Like, there's a girl named Cover who I recently saw, made a video. I think there's another one named Brooke Monk, if I'm getting her name.
I'm looking at it's Brooke Monk.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so she did one, right? And that was pretty recently.
yeah.
So, I mean, seeing these people like was she's I mean, I just went to her thing. She has like 19 million people that follow her. Like, are these people that you knew and were aware of, and then they're using your sound?
Yeah, like, I sometimes I look at who's used the sound and I see the ones that are at the top and I'm like, "Whoa, like, that person's on my For You page all the time."
Who
Um,
is the biggest one, or who is somebody that you saw, and was it with that video that you were like, oh my goodness, like I cannot believe blank used my TikTok sound?
there's been a few. Cover was definitely one, Brooke was one. Um, there's a girl, I think her username might just be Maddie, but I know she was in the D'Amelio show.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
she used it. Also, do you know the guy like Joel who does TikToks with his dad, and his dad is like the Ratatouille guy?
No, I'm too old. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay. But his girlfriend, and they're like on my free page all the time too. So
Okay, so new song coming out and a record and what like you saw I'm wrapping up here. I don't want to take all your time. But I'm curious with, you said you'd go live on Instagram or I mean live on TikTok and do stuff there. Are you planning on doing any live shows like now that stuff is kind of opening up?
yeah, I'm actually going on tour starting in April. Um,
Oh.
I'm opening for Anson Seabra, which is going to be very fun. But that's April, May, and then yeah, a good chunk coming up. I mean, my manager just called me and he was like, "So late June, we're going to be doing LA, San Francisco, and Boston." Um,
Wow.
it appears as it appears. It's crazy.
So the tour is in April.
Mhm.
And how far are you going with the tour? Is it like a full US tour?
It's Dallas up to like New York, and then kind of going to Denver and San Francisco and LA. It's 13 places overall over 23 days. Um, one in Canada, which makes it an international tour.
That's awesome. I'm looking at it now. And what you said, like playing live wasn't a big thing for you yet, right? You haven't done a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I've only done like acoustic versions of my songs, never like the full out version with tracks and like being able to really be on stage and have fun. So I'm so excited.
Have you practiced? Do you have like a band that you've been playing with?
Yes, they actually started rehearsing today without me, just to get it all dialed, I guess. And then I'm going in tomorrow. And I can't wait.
That is cool. You're playing the Rickshaw Stop in San Francisco, which is an amazing venue. I will tell you that right now.
Oh, cool.
Well, I appreciate your time. This has been so fun. Thank you, Em. I love what you're doing. I love the records. I even love the old EP that you put out, Infrared. It's cool stuff. Last question for you. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Yes. Use TikTok Reels and YouTube Shorts religiously, and don't stop posting even if the numbers aren't reflecting what you think the videos could do. I think it's all about just persistence.
Bringing it backward.